Okay, so this is what you'll see when you first open up SketchUp. Yeah, I leave this lady here, she's good for scaling things. She's about the height of a human. I have mine set in architectural mode and millimeters, so we'll go through the tools at the top. This pointer for selecting, you can click and drag and select multiple at once. Shift select is for selecting multiple or deselecting. Control just adds, doesn't deselect. This is the eraser, so click across, drag stuff, it will delete it. Pen, so drawing shapes like this, so you can follow lines. So you see when it goes, so if you draw like this, if you go green, it means that it's following this axis along here, so that will be parallel to that axis. Same for blue, and the same for red. So we also have freehand, which I never use because it's just stupid. Got 2-point curve, which click, click, and you can curve, create an arc. Got arc, which is creates a line like that. 3-point arc, which is the same as 2-point arc, except you add a pivot point. Like Pac-Man. Pop, 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 pop. Pi, which just creates slices. Rectangle, which is for, see, rectangles. If you hold shift, no, that doesn't work. Okay, talking bollocks. That creates a golden ratio. That creates a square. So if you just drag it and that little line appears, it's perfectly square. Rotated rectangle just allows you to create one at an angle. Circle, fairly obvious. And polygon, which creates that. This tool is called the extrude tool, but push pull in here. But that just allows you to push, pull. Yeah. If you do that, it will cancel out. Sometimes, not always. So you click, delete. This is the offset tool. So if you have a piece, then you click the offset tool, you can drag in, and then they become two separate objects. It also works the other way. Drag out. Move tool. Rotate tool. Scale tool, which is fairly self-explanatory. Tape measure, that's easy. And these are the navigation, you don't need these too much. Not for what we're doing. So that's the orbit tool. Click and drag. You can also do the same thing with middle click on the mouse, which is what I use, easier than trying to find this. This is the pan tool. So that's good for navigating around obstacles, objects. Zoom tool, click and hold. I guess it's easier. If you scroll with the mouse, it zooms towards the cursor, but with the this tool, it zooms towards the selected object. So that centers you on your so the object you selected fills the camera view. That's warehouse, that's extensions, doesn't matter about them. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to get as many reference images as you can find. Just go into the game or whatever and just screenshot as much as you can. You're going to want to just get as many images of what you're trying to create as possible, so that you can see what you're trying to end up with. So let me navigate to mine. So obviously the more references you have, the more angles you have, the easier it is to come up with something. So I'm going to be making a little bit of this, of the train crate. So first thing you're going to want to do is get a rectangle, obviously. So the scale's not really important. We can rescale something. It's more the the proportions of what we want. So looking at this, it's kind of an oblong. It's like this big. Yeah, it looks about right. So we're going to want to extrude it up. Does that look about right? Maybe a little bit shorter. Too short. Cool, that looks about right. So what you want to do is get it about right, and then we only want to make half of it because it's a symmetrical object, so we'll just get rid of half. And we can just copy and paste this part, flip it over and put it on the other side. So looking at the object, it looks like it's got it's got an inset. So what we'll do is we'll create a offset inwards. Looks about that far, and then we'll inset that. That looks about right for the reference image I have. Okay, so then looking at the further the reference image, it's got a split down the middle. So what we're going to want to do is find the middle. That's the middle. So you see these points. If you look right underneath the pen, that's green. That means you're on a corner. Red just means you're on a line, and blue means you're in the middle of a line. So we're going to want to take a little bit off each side, and this is where the measurement tool comes in. 61 millimeters, so that is, oops, not that. Almost impossible to get, so we can type. So if you type 61 and click enter, it will position it exactly 61 from the edge, in theory. 61 boom, there. So now we know that. You have to click enter. You know that that's exactly 61 millimeters from the middle. We can click there, and then we've got another line. So we know those two lines are equidistant. I'm going to want to delete that middle line, so that's a single piece. And then offset that. It doesn't look like it's offset all the way in the image. So that's what we've got so far, is that. So in the image I have this here. It needs to be inset slightly each side. So that looks about right. And then with this tool, if you make an inset and you double click, it will do the same again. So that means you don't have to worry about measuring it or anything like that. And then we want to inset that again slightly. Also with this tool, if you double click, it does the same inset again, same distance. Okay, so on this side here, it looks like there's a little bit of a supporting piece. So get our pen tool, probably about there, looks about right, and it comes all the way out. So what we want to do is take this line here and bring it directly out to there. Same here, boom. Okay, and then what we'll do is create that shape. So click here and bring that down roughly there, looks about right, and the same here, and you can see it locks. So there we go. Oops. Delete that bit. Cool. So something you're going to be aware of is if it's 3D printed, it can't have any faces on the inside of the geometry. Otherwise it will, the model will be buggered. So there we go, we can make that. And then we want to delete these two lines here. Boom. So that's what we're kind of looking for. And on the model, there's a kind of crossbar thing here. So what we're going to do for that is find the middle again. Boom. Middle. And then same again for this. same trick. What's that? 42. 42 millimeters. Enter. So when I enter that, you can see down here it fills out this. So we're going to want to click there and didn't quite get it right. There and there. Click. Select this line here and delete it. We don't need it anymore. Actually, that does look a bit big. Going even further. So you're going to be constantly just readjusting things. Really, it's kind of half the builds. 25 mil, 50 mil in real life. Yeah, sounds about right. That's kind of like, because we're building things that are true scale, essentially. Just think how big it would be in real life. 25 millimeters. You can see down in the bottom right corner, it says 25 millimeters. Enter. Oh, why has it done that? 25 millimeters. Enter. Didn't love it when technology works. There we go. Right, third time lucky. Get the intersection there, which is a red cross. Rotate around. Boom. Okay, that looks a bit better. Looks less robust. Just want to delete the center line so we get a single piece, and we want to move up this. Okay. So really, at this point, we can almost just split it into 4. So all we can do is just kind of draw a line of the center points. Pardon me. All the way around. So as you can see, you can just rotate using middle click quite easily. Though you do end up upside down, so that might be disorientating, but there you go. And then we can just use this tool here to click drag across. There we go. I didn't quite get all of it. So what you do is kind of line it up here. So what you don't want is to select all of it. Boom. As you can see, we've got an exposed side there, which isn't an issue really, because we're going to be connecting it up anyway. We can delete this side as well, because we don't want any internal geometry really. So on the image there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 6 of these sort of circular pillar things. So what we want to do is kind of break this up into 6 pieces, which is more difficult than it sounds. So for that we're going to want to measure it. Is it 2,269 millimeters? Calculator, 2,269 divided by 6 is 382.6 recurring. So I'm going to do 382.6 millimeters. Type that in. Boom. First one done. 382. Did I type 86 last time? I'll have to redo it. Right. 382.66 millimeters. That's the first one done. 382.66 millimeters. So that see, that's not what we wanted. I didn't want to delete that. One of the many downsides you'll find to this program is that it's sometimes tricky to figure out what it wants. So this time I'm going to make that as a there. So we've got permanent reference now, rather than these one of these tiny little it puts a little dot basically where you measured, but a bit dodgy. 382.66. So instead of that, I'll just carry on like this. You might be wondering why. What's the point of you making it if I've already made it practically? Well, it's good for learning really. Something quite simple. Yeah. So 382.66 millimeters. Boom. Hopefully it kind of lines up at the end. not too bothered about a couple of points of a millimetre. It's not really it's not like a rocket engine or something, is it? It's just something on that 382.66 millimetres. Boom. Right, cool. So that's that done. We'll bother with the other side for now. So I'm going to want to do 2-point arc. I'm going to select that, and then click there. That one, click there. That one, click there. You know, just work your way along. So you've got 6 semicircles really, what you're aiming for. Boom, 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 boom. Now comes the fun part, you get to extrude them up. So you're going to want to lift that up there. Right, so now you remember that if you double click, you get the same thing. There. So that's basically the gist of it. What I can do now is select all of that and make it a group, which means it's not individual components anymore. Control V. I'm going to want to do a flip along green. Yep. Sometimes it's confusing which one. So you want to grab this top corner and that top corner. Control V, flip along red. Yep. Kind of guess usually as to what it is. And then flip along green again. So as you can see, yeah, is that right? Yeah. As you can see, if we connected all of them up properly, we then have a box, really. Based on my references, it's roughly right. There's some doors at one end and stuff, but you can figure that bit out. It's not. It's really easy. It's just a box with some geometry on it. Texturing, don't worry about that. Doesn't really matter. Fine details don't matter. They're not going to come out in the print, so don't worry about it. We can add those afterwards. So yeah, just use your common sense really. If it's going to be 0.1 millimeters big, don't bother with it because it just won't come out. Whereas something like this here will, these curves will. Something I've noticed about it is that these parts here, select them. These parts here are actually raised at one end. So I guess the easiest way to do that would be to not rotate them. Well, that'd be a good conundrum for you to figure out. Is how to raise this part here. So this part, look, this will be easy. You select that, and you want to use the move tool to push that part back down. You probably want to select a corner like this. Boom. Now you can see that this here is raised. When it's got that weird effect on it, just yeah, it's probably because something's gone wrong. What's gone wrong with that? Let's find out. We'll delete all the geometry around it and take a look. Okay, let's just deal with some hidden stuff in here. That's what you got to worry about. Because if that's in there, the whole model will be screwed up when I import it into the 3D printer. But actually that looks not too bad. So maybe if it looks like that, just ignore it and I'll fix it. If it's an issue, just need to go inside and check that there's none of this internal geometry. So just click on the line and delete it. Then go back outside and check, has it removed anything that needs to be there. So yeah, that's the gist of Sketchup really. It's a fairly simple program. Yeah, hopefully that helped a bit.